Hi guys, I wanted to do this tag for a while. It's been requested. It's the $20 makeup challenge. The thing that put me off most of all is $20 is like £13, and that is including your makeup brushes and tools. So that was going to be really, really tough. And after speaking to some people on Twitter about it, we decided £20 was a bit more reasonable, given the difference in makeup cost and stuff over here than over there. I am going to include a link to our currency converter site below, because having watched a few videos like this from the UK and from the US, it seems to be a resounding thing that everyone's talking about. How much is this and how much is that and what have you. So I'm going to just put the currency converter below. I will say that £20 is around 30 US and Australian dollars, around that kind of amount. I checked that this morning. I mentioned Australia because another thing that I hear all the time is that in Australia the cost of makeup is a lot more, and I don't know if it's just the imported stuff. From what I can see, what I can gather from comments, it seems to be anything that's made in Australia is actually kind of reasonable, but anything that's imported from the States or UK or Europe or all seems to be really, really expensive. So if you are from Australia, if you've done something that would be budget friendly for that part of the world, then please leave me a video response, because I think that that's really important as well. And there doesn't seem to be quite so many people talking about that kind of thing, even though there are so many people commenting on that kind of thing. So yeah, I wanted to mention that first of all, because I know I'll get tons of comments eventually about that kind of thing. Yeah, okay, tag. I did the tag and I ended up spending £18.43. The most important thing for me was that I didn't want to actually go out and have to buy anything. Everything that I had, I already had. So, the most important thing for me was that I didn't actually want to go out and buy anything new. I think that as a beauty blogger and beauty YouTuber that specialises in budget-friendly products, I wouldn't really be worth my salt, let's say, if I had to go out and buy £20 worth of products just to do the £20 makeup challenge. If I couldn't do that from my stash, then I really wouldn't be budget friendly at all, would I? I'm just going to run through a couple of the products that I use, and I will link them, or I will list them rather, in the down bar below. First of all, the brushes. This was really, really tough. I was going to use e.l.f. brushes, but then I was going to have to buy another e.l.f. brush, and they take quite a long time to ship. I didn't want to have to wait another 2 weeks to make the video, and we don't actually have e.l.f. on our shelves in the UK. So the brushes that I used were from a kit that I got from eBay, and I got them free with a palette, but I didn't count them as free. I found them online and they were £3.98, and there's more brushes that come with the kit, but this is just what I'm using in the video, and you get like a little mini kit and a brush roll for £3.98. So the brushes that I used were from eBay. I used the Natural Collection Tinted Moisturiser, which was £1.99, and I got it in light. I used the Too True 3-in-1 Concealer, which was £1.99. This Natural Wear Wet n Wild palette. Powder was going to be a really tricky one for me, and I did have some extra money to spend. So I could have gone and used a slightly more expensive powder, but I just wanted to keep it as cheap as possible. In the US, these will be readily available for you, but in the UK, not so much. And I can't remember where I got this from. I don't know if someone sent it to me or if I got it from a cheap shop, because that's generally where Wet n Wild can be found in the UK. But I did find it on a website for 99p. So I'm taking that. You can buy it for 99p right now, linked below, and yeah, 99p. e.l.f. I kept saying that. e.l.f. Healthy Glow bronzing powder in matte bronze, which I really, really liked, which was £1.50, I think. An MUA Blush, which is £1. An MUA Eyeshadow, which again was £1. And an MUA Liquid Liner in black, obviously, which was £1. Oh, the blush was shade 4 and the eyeshadow was shade 11. The mascara that I used was this NYC Showtime. I've got all the prices written down, I'm not just like randomly looking at the table. The NYC Showtime, which I actually really, really like as a normal mascara purchase. Budget or no budget, I definitely would recommend you try this. And the last thing is this Rimmel. Oh, it's not the last thing. Oh no! I haven't worked this out right at all. I missed something off my list. I'm still in budget, but I missed something off my list. I used this Rimmel pencil in Hazel, and I also used this e.l.f. Hypershine gloss, which I didn't write down, which is £1.50, which makes it, oh, maths. 1993, is that right? Oh my god. I will write it down below because my maths not so great. but 1993. I can't believe I missed something. I thought I'd come under budget really well. But I still came under budget. I still came in my £20, but oh, how annoying. So yeah, that's everything that I used, and you can see it in action now. I'm going to use the Natural Collection Tinted Moisturiser all over my face, obviously. And I don't have anything on my face at the moment at all. Nothing. It's completely clean. I don't have any moisturiser, any primer, nothing. And I just wanted the tinted moisturiser to kind of even out my skin tone and try to conceal any kind of redness before I use my concealer. The concealer I'm going to use is the Too True 3-in-1 concealer, and I have it in light. And I'm just going to put a little under my eyes and a little wherever I feel I need to conceal something. I'm also going to put a little bit on my eyelids in lieu of a primer. Okay, so now I'm going to do my eyebrows, and I'm going to use this teeny little eyebrow pencil from Rimmel, and it's in Hazel. I will list everything that I've used in the bar below, so if you're wondering what anything's called or where you can get it, then you can find out below. But this is actually pretty good for my kind of hair colour at the moment. I really did struggle to find something blonde, but I decided to just go a little bit darker rather than forego the eyebrows altogether, because they're really sparse and light and I really need to do something with them. Okay, so eyebrows done. I'm going to use my powder, which is this Wet n Wild Natural Wear. And I actually found this really, really cheap online because we don't generally get Wet n Wild in the UK. And I can't remember if I bought this myself or someone sent me it in a package, I can't remember. But generally when we only get Wet n Wild, we'll get it in a cheaper shop or online. And I actually found this for 99p, so that's an absolute bargain. You can get that online. And I'm just going to put a little bit on with the little puff that it comes with in my kind of main shiny areas first of all. Okay, then I'm going to use this little fan brush from the eBay set and just kind of lightly dust the powder everywhere else. Okay, next for eyeshadow, I'm going to use this MUA eyeshadow in shade 11, which is a pearl. I don't know why I'm putting it up to the camera because that's really blurry, isn't it? I'm sorry. But it's this one. And I'm going to use this, which is really kind of a contour brush really, but I prefer it to the shadow brush in the kit. Okay, another MUA product I'm going to use is the MUA Liquid Liner, and I have this in black. I'm just going to have to bring the mirror a little bit closer to me for this. Okay, that was not the easiest applicator to work with, and it was really quite streaky, so I had to use 2 or 3 coats, so fingers crossed that won't crumble off. Next I'm going to use the NYC Showtime Volumizing Mascara, which I actually really, really like. Mascara is so difficult for me, and it was one of the things that I was really, really worried about with this particular challenge, because if I just use a regular mascara, it just does nothing for my eyelashes whatsoever. But I knew from past experience that I actually really did like this one, and I've just kind of forgotten about it, and when I used it again it was really, really good. And this is an old mascara as well. I mean, I know you're not supposed to keep old mascaras, but hey ho, whatever. And it still works really, really well for me. Okay, I did put a little bit on the lower lashes as well. And now I'm going to do bronzer and blusher. The bronzer that I have is the e.l.f. Healthy Glow. The bronzer that I have is the e.l.f. Healthy Glow in matte bronze, and I'm going to use this angled brush. Now this is actually quite pigmented, the one that I have. I mean, I know that in the past I've talked about e.l.f. products as being a little bit hit and miss, and you never really know what you're going to get when you order it online, because some people, like this could be a really great product for me and then you could buy it and it could be terrible. So I would just say be aware of that, and obviously we can't swatch things in the UK because we only have it online. But this is particularly pigmented, this one that I have, so I'm just going to be really, really light with it and kind of contour, just add a little bit of warmth. The blusher that I have is also MUA, and the shade is 4, and it's quite pink and shimmery, this one. And again, it's quite pigmented. And I do tend to be heavy-handed with these things. Okay, lastly, I'm going to use this e.l.f. Hypershine Gloss. I forget the colour. Oh, it's something floral. I know I've had to look it up before for you guys when you've asked what I'm wearing on my lips, but I will find out and I will link it or I'll write it in the info bar. Okay, so I'm all done. I just want to mention a few of the highlights for me, and that would have to be the Showtime mascara from NYC, which I really do recommend, like budget or no budget, it is a really, really good product. The e.l.f. bronzer is very, very good. Like I say, it is quite pigmented, but if you've got the right brush, I mean, these brushes aren't fantastic for that kind of thing, for controlling how much you use, but if you've got the right brush, like a stippling brush, duo fibre type thing, something that you can go a bit lighter with, then this is actually really, really nice as well. It's only £1.50. And the Hypershine gloss, I actually use this a lot, and I've worn it on a lot of videos, and a lot of people have asked me what I'm wearing. I do like the Natural Collection Tinted Moisturiser. I've talked about that before, I reviewed it separately. And as tinted moisturisers go, it's really nice. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It doesn't give an awful lot of coverage, but then I think a lot of the very, very budget foundations give too much coverage, or they're a little bit cakey, and there's just not a lot of shade selection. So I think that if you're going to go really, really budget, you're probably looking at a tinted moisturiser and a good concealer. The missers have got to be the MUA Liquid Liner. I've used that a long time ago and I thought it was quite nice, but it's not my favourite at all. It's got kind of a rubber tip, it's angled, and it's too liquidy. It's kind of too, what's the word? Watery. You have to go over it several times and it's probably going to crumble off by the end of the day. And what else? Possibly the MUA Blush, because that's a little bit too pigmented again for me, but that's my problem because I'm heavy-handed. But otherwise, everything else is nice. Two other things that I wanted to mention, because I was kind of umming and ahhing about what I was going to use. Two of the other foundations that I was looking at using for this challenge were the NYC Natural Matte Foundation and the So Matte Perfect Stay by Miss Sporty. I've talked about these before in a video a long time ago, and I used them both this week, and I thought I'm definitely using one of these. I think I probably would have gone for the NYC one because it's got slightly more coverage, like medium coverage, maybe buildable to heavy coverage. But I couldn't find either of these online to link to, so I ended up using the Natural Collection for that reason. But if you can find these, I would definitely recommend them as well, and probably this one more so. I'm sorry if that was a little bit of a garbled ending, but thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I've wanted to do this tag for a while, so I'm glad I finally got around to it. And I will link everything below. I'll probably put it in a blog post as well, so I'll link that as well. And for anyone wondering and that's still watching, you can actually follow my new blog, although it's on WordPress with Blogger, and I will link how you can do that in the bottom bar as well. Yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!